David Hunter is a specialist in energy management. I asked him what caused the coal shortage in China and how long it will take before it eases.
So I don't think China is alone in supply shortages, but there have been issues around weather-related issues around mines having to temporarily close, relating to flooding and other natural issues at a time when energy demand, as in many countries around the world, has been increasing, and that's put a bit of a pressure on supply. And with many countries around the world, including China, significant importers of energy as well, that's also increased demand for imports at a time when many countries are looking for those supplies, and with that comes cost pressures and security of supply pressures.
And China has made some changes to its energy policy in recent days to help with energy security. When do you think this will start to make a difference?
It's difficult to tell when you're talking about situations like the weather and so on, and really at a global level no one really knows what's going to happen to commodity prices and supply, not just of coal but also natural gas and oil and so on. So these are challenges that are being faced by countries around the world. And obviously any country, energy security of supply and having the energy to drive industry and supply homes is incredibly important, but also the environmental aspect is really important to the world as well.
One of the measures was removing the price cap for commercial customers. How much difference might that make?
Globally, where we've seen market price-driven changes, the prices of gas and coal have increased very significantly, and less so oil. And obviously with electricity prices as well, because they're linked to gas and to coal as well, there's a clear impact there because we burn gas and coal to create electricity. So in Europe, we see very significant price responses and industry facing challenges as a result of that, and also domestic consumers further down the road. So price rises do have an impact across the piece.
So how will the increased need for coal that China's experiencing impact its climate pledges to reduce emissions and cut its reliance on coal?
I think obviously where there are short-term demand pressures and governments look to manage energy security, that's clearly an important part. But obviously in terms of the climate change commitments globally and the climate change agenda, the energy transition is something that we need to go through, and countries across the world are investing significantly in renewable energy and energy efficiency as well, and also digitizing economies to make better use of energy. So all of that really still needs to happen. I think generally speaking, where we see shortages or increasing demand and tight supply for fossil fuels, generally that's a signal that in the long term it's important to continue on that decarbonisation agenda, because ultimately the world will want to reduce its reliance on fossil fuels in the long term.